stop talking. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit.
Hello guys, welcome to another PropDog review. Today we are talking about Dreambox by the wonderful Jota. Now, what do you think of this effect, Alex?
Well, I've only seen the trailer, and I really quite liked it from the trailer because it's a bit like the confabulation effect, but without all the hassle of double writing and all of that jazz and having to switch out the wallets and whatever you want to do.
It limits an awful lot of the faffing about, doesn't it?
It does, and it's more visual in a way. Yeah, so I thought I quite liked it from the thing, but I'm not so sure that. So Jason was going to demonstrate this, but there's a reason why he didn't.
Yeah, there is a reason why I didn't. I still really like it, don't get me wrong. There's no way a negative review. I really like this. I think it's really, really good. The reason I'm not demonstrating it for you now is it would take me probably 3 days to set it up. I am, of course, being facetious. But it will take a while to set up, okay? And when we're in the shop being paid to do other things, Dave wasn't going to appreciate me folding lots of pieces of paper.
But the setup's really easy. It's just
dead easy.
A lot of folding.
Dead easy, but it's a lot of folding. I reckon it'd take you a good, probably an hour and maybe an hour and a half to do it nicely.
Right, and that's because the choices they get
are free choices.
Are completely free, which means you have a whole load of outs, basically. You
have multiple outs, to put it lightly, yes. But that makes it such a good trick because I watched it on the trailer. I knew how it worked, but at the same time, I did think, is that really possible, that method? Because there are so many options for them to choose, and it is. So your spectators, not knowing anything, not knowing a lot about magic, will really be fooled by this because they do get to choose. What do they get to choose? They get to choose between Paris and Hawaii, I think. And they can go to either of those destinations. They can go to see 3 different bands. You've got AC/DC, Coldplay and the Spice Girls. They can choose a drink to have while they're watching the band, either chocolate milkshake, or if they're driving, or a whiskey. And then there are 6 different celebrities that they could have with them on the trip. So there's loads and loads of options there. And it really is great. So the effect is that you give your spectator a lanyard that says it's like a gift experience that you get for Christmas. So you've given them a gift experience. They're going to choose their gift experience by going through all these options. Then you take the lanyard off them, pull out what's inside the lanyard, and nicely he's put something in the lanyard at the beginning so they can feel there is something in there, which is quite a nice little subtlety.
Yep.
Okay. So that's in there, so they can feel there's a piece of paper in there if you want to go that way. And then when you take out the piece of paper, you unfold it, and it's a flyer advertising their gift experience with all of the choices they've made, which is a good little trick.
Yeah, no, I really like the effect. What bothers me is that you give them the lanyard to wear, and then you take it back because you've got to remove
the prediction.
The prediction.
Yeah.
So for me, I'd wear it and go, look, I'll make sure I don't take it off. Or
you could almost be the holiday rep, couldn't you?
Yeah, I think that would
almost be the
better.
travel rep.
That would make more sense to me.
Yeah.
I think it's a shame you can't customise. I think it's a bit of a shame that you're stuck with those celebrities and those bands and things.
I can see why though, because this is $36.99.
I completely understand why. It's just for me, I suppose I just have to write jokes and comedy around what I'm given.
Yeah. This is $36.99, which isn't a bad price considering the amount of stuff you do get with it, because there's a lot of
not at all.
There's a lot of stuff that's had to be custom made in here. And I was going to say something that's totally gone. I quite like the idea of being the travel rep because you could almost try and sell the celebrity going, oh, you look like a Spice Girls fan. You go with Spice Girls or you go with something? I think that'd be quite fun. I can imagine you doing that quite nicely.
Victoria might turn up for that night and all that excitement stuff.
Exactly. So I honestly, I think it's a really nice thing.
Angles aren't great.
The angles aren't great, but it's the perfect trick for Zoom. It really is the perfect trick for Zoom if you're doing the holiday rep routine with the lanyard and you're taking out the prediction yourself.
Actually, because it's a confabulation type routine, I would prefer this over the manifest for a Zoom effect. I think it's more visual.
I would.
I just think it's better. It's quite a good.
I think it's more
idea.
impossible.
I wish there were less outs. I wish there was some way that they'd limited the outs a little bit somehow.
Although with manifest they can write what they want, something in my head is telling me that this is more impossible, which doesn't make any sense. But I don't know if that's the way the spectator would feel. The fact you've got a printed flyer does make it feel that there's an actual prediction there rather than there's some way he's got my
Well, you
information.
have to have already had a picture of Jennifer Aniston or Brad Pitt. You can. It's not. Whereas obviously with a normal confabulation, they go, well, you could.
Yeah, no, I get that, but what I'm saying is I don't think a spectator would turn around and say, you've got 60 possible, you know, doing the maths and working it out and going, you've got 60 possible different outs. Because A, you'd go, well, where are they?
Yeah.
Because you're not holding anything really other than the cards, which itself is nice. And I just don't think they go down that path. I don't know what they think, honestly. I certainly didn't think it would work the way it works. I kind of knew roughly how it worked, but I didn't think it would be the way that it works on here.
Yeah.
And it's quite nice. It's quite easy to remember. You know a lot of the position of where you need to be before you get to that celebrity, which is quite nice. So you can do all of the bits you need to do in your head, and there's not a lot to do in your head. But before you even get to the choice of celebrity, you know where your hand position is going to be, which is quite nice.
That was a bit of a worry, was the amount of memory required.
But it's not that much. It's not that much.
Put it together, and I just tested Jason. Basically, I said, right, well, which one's this? And he told me what was in each one.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, actually. So
as soon as I,
it's not even memory, is it? You can actually calculate which one it is.
Yeah.
So you don't actually have to remember it. I'm sure you will.
No, there's not a lot of memory at all. It's more of a sequence that there are some elements of memory, but not, you know, remembering the order of 3 things, for instance, would be one of the memory things. So nothing hard at all. I think it's really good.
Close up. You really do need people to be in front of you, and you probably need to be
close
step
up.
back.
You'd struggle. You'd have to not have people behind you. Yeah.
It's a bit of a shame actually, because if it was a bit bigger, it'd be really it'd be good for parlour, and even bigger, it'd be good for stage.
Parlour would be good. That I really like. Stay there.
Size is perfect for Zoom.
Stay there.
And I'm going to stay here and just talk to you while Jason has gone to get catched.
So if you want something,
who's the guy? Daniel
Kajigian.
That's the guy.
This is kind of the stage equivalent. You've got cards with this one, and holiday destinations. I think you can do as well. Places in Europe you can do with this one, but really is kind of the same thing. But if you do want one for stage, then I would probably go for Catched over Dreambox.
Although I'd go for Cue the Magic rather than Catch, which again.
All right, stay there. 2 seconds.
Which again uses a similar thing, but the point is, it does work. The setup's just folding, which we've got the time and effort to do.
Cue the Magic by the wonderful Angelo. This is great. I use this a lot. This has kind of gone from a Dreambox review to sort of a staged confab review.
The point is, I think over Zoom, you can't do Cue the Magic over Zoom. Can you see someone with you? Catched probably a bit.
Oh, you could do it over Zoom.
If someone.
You could do it over Zoom if you change the cards out.
Yep.
Excuse me.
So I just think it's a shame. I would quite like this as a stage version, because I'm not doing Zoom shows, and I think for close up it's just a bit angly. For walk around it would be angly. If everyone's at a table, you'd be fine, I suppose.
Yeah.
But it's a good effect actually.
It is a really good effect. Yeah.
Only $36.99, which today I'm beginning to feel is a bargain when it comes to magic tricks.
The amount of work that's gone into this, it's worth it, I think, for that. Yeah, it's very, very good. I really like it. I think that's kind of our summary, isn't it? We both like it. If you like what you can do if you like what you see in the trailer, you can do everything he does in the trailer. But you want to be in a similar environment to where he is in the trailer, because he's sat in a coffee shop with his back to the wall for a reason. But yeah, it's
and the tutorial's shot in his front room, isn't it?
It is shot in his front room. There are some limitations with obviously cameras, but you know, he's on lockdown, bless him, so I can't really criticise that too much. There is a bit when he's trying to show the gimmick and it's basically all whited out because of the camera, so it's a bit hard to see. But other than that, really good project. Ooh. Well done, Jota.
Call your one-stop token. Why don't you give it a rest?
Rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit, yep, rabbit, bunny, jabber, rabbit.